Good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Great, thank you. Okay, so let's begin with the reason I invited you on is because a lot of the previous copywriting apprentices I interviewed recommended I interview you as well. But when I reached out to you, maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, you said you have a lot coming up in the pipeline, so you prefer to do the interview later. So I reached out to you again, and here we are now. So I'd like you to explain everything you've been up to, all the wins that have been happening, all your successes. Feel free to go as in depth as you wish.
Yeah, man. So yeah, when you reached out a few weeks ago, I was kind of right at the cusp of unlocking some huge discoveries and really opening the floodgates to a lot of new things coming in. And it's been a long time in the works, kind of building the foundation for that. And then I was right at the edge there. So I knew that if we just waited like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, then, the floodgates would open, everything would come pouring in, and we'd have a much cooler interview. And that happened. We're here, and things have been going absolutely crazy. Ambulance driving by. Things have been going absolutely crazy the last 3-4 weeks. Made a lot of really cool strides, and it's kind of like the exponential bell curve where I was kind of going like this for a while, and then all of a sudden now I'm just going like this. So yeah, cool, man. I'm glad to be talking to you. Got all kinds of cool stuff to talk about.
Can you go in depth into those wins?
Yeah, so this last month, January, was by far the biggest month I've had in every way. So, as far as actual income goes, this month I did somewhere between 5 and 6K total. Not sure exactly because there's like so many different sources. So, I'll get into the details where it's kind of coming in all over the place. And the coolest part of that is that, this month things started to pick up, but I have a lot of pieces in place where in February it might almost as much as double because I have a whole bunch of pretty much I have like at least 5K guaranteed. And then I have a whole bunch of other leads and prospects that I'm working. So if I can keep my system strong, if I can stay on top of my time management and make it all happen, then could probably pretty easily double it in the next month. But yeah, so as far as some more specifics with the clients, the big breakthrough was figuring out how to launch really, really, really effective outreach campaigns, because for me and for pretty much all guys in the copywriting campus and probably freelancing campus too, the major issue is outreaching and landing clients, because once people land clients, learning the skills and performing for them, that's almost the easy part compared to getting the clients in the first place, especially with so much competition in the real world. So I've been testing all different things, and I finally found an outreach method that it's a lot of time and it's a lot of work, but it's so effective that it kind of, I have all these prospects and work just pouring in now, almost more than I can handle. So I'm at the point where like, okay, what's the next step? Do I start some sort of an agency, or do I start outsourcing work, or do I start just charging ridiculously high prices? So there's a lot of options now. But yeah, I'm at the point of prospecting now where I have like too many clients and too many prospects, which is a luxury problem to have. It's really cool. So yeah, there's no complaints there.
You started off with zero experience, I'm presuming, correct?
Just about, yeah. In copywriting specifically, I had almost no experience. I'd read a couple of basic books, but I had no hands-on experience. I had no client work or anything like that.
What was your average day like before you joined the real world?
Yeah, I worked in the trades. So I spent most of my late teens and 20s working in various trades, construction and carpentry. And most recently, before the real world, I was working as a locksmith. So I was driving around to businesses and people's houses in a van and replacing doors, rekeying locks, things like that. So yeah, I was a tradesman. I still have a house and a couple kids and a family. So I was kind of just a normal 9-to-5 blue collar guy.
And how did you find out about the real world?
I think I found Tate through Twitter, probably Twitter, Instagram. I found out about Tate on social media, and I liked his stuff and followed a lot of what he was saying. And back then it wasn't quite when he first launched, but I joined HU when it was very, very early. It was soon after he launched, and pretty much as soon as I heard about it and found out about it, like I was in, because I'd been trying all different various things. I didn't want to work a 9 to 5. I didn't want to be in the trades. I wanted to figure out how to make money online. And so I've been trying this and that and all kinds of things unsuccessfully. And, I saw HU at the time, the real world now. I saw that and I said, yeah, this is it. I'm in. Let's go. It's leaps and bounds ahead of everything else overall, because, and this is funny, because when a lot of times when kind of outsiders or people who haven't actually gone through the program, when they talk about it, they basically refer to it as a course. They say, oh, the copywriting course or the crypto course. And the course aspect of the real world is only about 10% of it, maybe. So, I mean, the course itself, the material in the course is fantastic. Andrew Bass is an amazing professor, and the way he lays everything out is very simple and step-by-step while still being ridiculously profound. So you have this kind of easy step-by-step process, but then it just blows your mind the entire time. And it's even a whole lot better now than it was when I first joined. So the course material is fantastic. It's designed, A to Z to take you from knowing absolutely nothing at all to landing your first clients and having the skills to actually provide a valuable service and get paid for it. So that's fantastic, but that's only 10% of the whole thing. So what most courses and even what most communities can't really offer is the overall community aspect and the camaraderie inside the real world, which I've been in a lot of other Discord channels and a lot of other communities for copywriting and other things, and nothing even comes close to the real world, because the culture that the professors and all of the other students in there create is just like nothing I've ever seen before. It's kind of like if, at least in the copywriting campus, some other campuses are a little bit different, but at the copywriting campus is almost like you're joining basic training in the military. Like you come in, as a shaved head grunt knowing nothing, and you go through this incredibly difficult but incredibly rewarding process, and you're not alone when you do it, which is the biggest thing that makes the real world stand apart, is that in most courses and programs you feel like you're alone. But in the real world, you've got all kinds of other guys shoulder to shoulder. You're working together with them. You're moving to the next level. You have all different stages of people ahead of you. So, you've got the Legion guys who are ahead of you. Then you've got the platoon commanders. Then you've got the apprentices. Then you've got the professors. So there's this whole kind of chain of command, so that there's never a huge disconnect. And you can always access someone who's just above you or just below you. And really it's that group spirit that moves everyone forward. So, yeah, in that way, it's head and shoulders above anything else I've ever been inside.